to enable audio control. This conference will now be recorded.
Have they done checked out yet? I haven't heard anybody.
Either way, if you want to make public comments, just let Donnie's know. Otherwise, if you want to be a resource, be available to fill in.
That's where I'm at.
Okay.
I'm a resource. Oh, good.
All right. It is 11 o'clock. We'll go ahead and call this meeting of the Tyler County Commissioners Court to order. Let the record reflect that a quorum is present. Both Commissioners Nash and Stirrup are joining us via conference call. And this meeting has been duly called in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, and the quorum is present. It is the practice of this court to exercise an invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Today, the court member leading that is Mike Marshall. And if you will, Mike. Oh, my disclaimer is if anybody is not comfortable, we would like to step out of the room or go offline for a moment, please do so, and then you can rejoin us when we get back into session. Mike? Okay.
Our Father, we come before thee at this time, grateful for our many blessings. We're grateful for the blessings that we have of freedom in our country, and we pray, Lord, that thou would bless those that are working to keep our freedom, that they might be blessed. We ask thee, Father, to forgive us where we failed, and help us each in the different responsibilities that we have for the county, that we might do them in a pleasing manner. We pray for those, Father, who are sick or suffering, that they may be healed or comforted, and to be thy will. Go with us through this day, and come with Christ in the name of Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Course, honor the American flag, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Jack. All right. We want to take a moment to acknowledge our guests that are with us today. Welcome to each and every one. We are socially distancing ourselves out of respect for others as well as for ourselves. We have public comments to begin our meeting, and we will defer to the county clerk to see if there's anybody that signed up. Okay, so there's no public comments. That'll take us right into the consent portion of the agenda. And we have minutes from the August 24th and 25th meetings that are before us. And we've had an opportunity to take a look at those, and the chair will await your motion to receive those into the record.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Okay.
I'll second.
Thank you, Mike and Buck. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, aye. Any opposed? Sound like we heard three. Martin, are you still with us?
I'm ready to.
Okay. Would you want to register? Would you want to register a position on the receiving of the minutes into the record?
Yes.
Okay, yes, so it's unanimous. That takes us to our monthly reports, and I think we've got the ag agent's report with us now. Denise, did you have yours?
No, sir.
Okay.
James is on vacation and the rest of his election.
All right. If there's a request by any member of the court to set aside any of the regular monthly reports for further consideration, then please identify that. Otherwise, is there a motion to receive the monthly reports by consent?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Stephen. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mike. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, aye. Okay, and it is unanimous. Thank you. That takes us down to resolutions. We have none for the court today. And item 4 will be the consider, approve, or informational section. And Jackie, I'm not aware of any budget amendment or line item transfer. Okay. That is a standing item on the agenda, so it'll take us to item number B, which is accept the resignation of ESD number 8, Commissioner Art Walton, effective 8/31/20. Commissioner Nash, you have that?
Yes, sir. He sent us a letter of resignation. I don't have a replacement for him as of yet, but I'll make a motion we accept his resignation.
Okay, there is a motion.
Second.
Thank you, Mike, for your second. Comments or questions? All in favor, aye. And it is unanimous. Item C is the renewal of the service agreement with APRIS to provide victim notification services under the Vine Service Agreement. This is a renewal. It is a standing, it's a standing service that we have with the county, and I'll put it in the form of a motion asking for a second for the renewal.
Second.
Thank you, Mike. All right. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, aye. Okay, and it is unanimous. Stephen, I think you have the next 9 items, and I'll just turn it over to you.
Yes, the transfer of the courthouse for mediation rehabilitation duties to Stephen Stark, himself, member of Commissioners Court, and the signature authority for all documents pertaining to the courthouse mediation rehabilitation project, begins as Commissioner also, as well as the special projects coordinator position and the money from the DL clerk position to cover any potential overages in that budget account for that special projects coordinator from now to the end of the year. So that comes in the form of a motion.
Okay, there is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Buck. Comments or questions?
Hey,
Yes, sir. The only thing I would like to add is that the, whoever is managing these positions that we're transferring out from under the judges, that commissioner or whoever is in charge of that, have the authority to hire who they feel that would do the job, and also have hiring and termination powers in each of these departments. So that's the only thing I would like to add to that. So, go ahead, Martin.
Stephen, I'm just wondering on that, I don't know what's going to be required of that position, but a lot of that stuff I think you could have our current clerk do. So we have, like typing and stuff like that. I don't know exactly what's going to be required with that position, but you may want to consider using our clerk for that, some of that work anyway.
Right, yeah, we don't really think, we know most of the research and everything that they did an excellent job on that. Don't kind of going into a different phase now, so we're not really sure what we're going to need. I think we need to have some money available to hire somebody in case we do need an oversight person there that could be there more often.
Any additional comments? All in favor, aye. Okay, and it is unanimous. Please continue, Steve.
G is transfer to the managerial duties and responsibilities of Veteran Service Department, Agri-Life Detention Service, and Department of Public Safety. The Commissioner Charles Hudson, a member of the Commissioners Court, and that comes as a form of a motion.
There is a motion. We'll wait a second.
Second.
Thank you, Mike. Comments or questions?
Yeah, I have a problem with this, and I think precinct 1 should have been involved in some of this stuff. I know I only have a few months left, but we need to go ahead and why make another move in 3 months? I think, being the only veteran on the court, I mean, I should have had an opportunity to reach out to that particular position. I don't know, the way it's written down on the agenda, it's kind of, you either do it that way or we don't do it. And I'm not real thrilled with the way that thing's written or how it's coming out. But I think we're gonna split it up, we need to split it up. I ain't hankering for any more work to do, that's sure, but let's do it the right and fair way. That's my comment on this. So, I don't know the way it's written, I don't know if we can amend it or not. So, but I do have a problem with it.
We'd like to remove Veteran Service Department out of the item.
I think you could remove it out of the item, but you couldn't assign it. The way it
No,
goes.
right, we could remove it and just, and put it on there at the next meeting, if that's how we need to do it,
You could do that, yes. Like I said, it could have been written where it was, without a specific name, we could have, went ahead and changed it, however, the discussion. But, like I say, I really believe that we need to give precinct 4 some responsibility. I mean, precinct, but they got some.
Precinct 1.
Precinct 1 responsibility. I think that's up, otherwise it's don't look right at all. Anyway, that's my statement. I hate to take authority away from both, but I say,
Well, I'm listed for 3 of them there, and everybody else is getting 1.
yes.
Stephen, do you wish to amend your motion?
Yes, I wish to amend the motion to remove the Veteran Service Department from that, motion.
Okay, we have an amendment on the floor. Is there a second to the amendment?
Second.
Okay, there is a second to the amendment. We can move forward for discussion if you wish to, or we can go ahead and take a vote on the amendment. Is there a motion? Or excuse me, is there any discussion? If not, all in favor of the amendment to delete the Veteran Service Department from item E as action by the court, say aye. Okay, then that'll take us back to the original motion with the amendment to delete Veteran Service Department. We do have a motion and second. Any additional comments? Hearing none, all in favor of the transfer of managerial responsibilities of AgriLife Extension and DPS to Commissioner Hudson, say aye. Any opposed? Martin, do you wish to vote either way?
I voted aye, I just got lost in the.
Okay, we acted upon the amendment to delete from the motion, and then now we're voting on the motion as it was originally presented with. Okay, so it is unanimous. Okay, Stephen, please continue.
Yes, the position of Department of Public Safety as a full-time or part-time for the 2021 budget. And I'll just bring that in form of a motion so we can discuss that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mike. There's a motion and a second. We are now available for discussion. Comments or questions?
Yes, I checked with the DPS sergeant and checked with emergency management and everyone down there. And it appears that seems to be under the assumption that the taxi who was in that position was a full-time DPS clerk from the beginning, and then emergency management was a stipend that was added on at some time or another to help out on emergency management. So I think that the DPS needs a full-time DPS clerk dedicated just to the DPS. There's 8 troopers and a sergeant that person would assist, and there's 4 troopers out of Hardin County also. They do all the reports. That person will do all the reports and all the administrative assistance work for the troopers down there too. So it's 2 troopers and a sergeant that that person supports.
Okay, additional comments?
We've already addressed this in the budget hearing, have we not? Have we?
Yes, we did discuss it some, Mark.
Yeah, well, but yeah, we discussed it, couldn't vote on anything, yeah. The workshop was brought up after the amendment was written. The agenda item was written, had to write it pretty quick, time-wise, so.
Stephen, just an FYI, I don't know if you're aware, but Sergeant Sin is here to field any questions that any of the other court members may have in regard to the motion.
Yeah, let him speak if he wants to speak. I don't have any questions from him unless there's something I missed from him.
Sergeant, do you have any additional comments?
I was right on, I will answer any questions that any of the members of the court have any questions regarding that. I think Mr. Sturt explained the need that we do have. But if there's any other questions, I'll be more than glad to step up here and answer whatever you want to ask.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Sergeant, do you feel like it would require full-time?
I do, yes. And I'm gonna tell you, I think the main load, of course, obviously, often, arrests of troopers made an open records request. Today is a day of civil litigation, and Cassie feels a bunch of those, and they're, legislatively bound by a deadline. And, if you're not there to receive it, it doesn't matter, it still counts in your deadline for which you have to get these things completed. And some of that stuff takes time to gather up as well.
Stephen, Martin, were y'all able to hear Sergeant's comments?
I did,
Okay,
yes.
Yes, sir.
good.
I would also, I wonder if there's any way possible that Hart County would be able to, participate a little bit in that, since some of their troopers we're servicing their troopers as well.
That is a,
Yeah, I think that would be worth it, discussion with them sometime.
I mentioned that, I'm not sure who I spoke to. I know I spoke to the judge about it, maybe Commissioner Sturrick. I mean, I don't think it's my place to ask the county for money for share. I mean, it is budgetary, it's Tyler County that's supporting, supplying the support. We're appreciative of that, but I'll be more than glad to go visit with them if someone wants to, pose it to them, hey, what are we doing? I'll tell them exactly what we're doing. I have no problem with that. But as me being a state position, I don't think it's my place to ask for county money to another county. You understand? I like to stay in my lane so I don't get in trouble.
okay, good comments. Any additional? All right, let's vote.
So was the motion for full or part-time? I mean, that's what's on there.
Oh, okay,
I
Yeah, I make a motion for a full time.
okay. So,
think,
yes, yeah, we do have the motion and second. Okay, all in favor, aye? Okay, it is unanimous. Okay, Steve, item G.
Yes, sir, transfer the material duties for the maintenance grounds custodial department to Commissioner Blackmore for the member of the Commissioner's Court. And I'll bring it in form of a motion.
Second.
Thank you, Buck. Comments or questions? All in favor, aye? Okay, it is unanimous. That'll take us to item H, Stephen.
Yes, sir, that's the payment of the emergency, out of the emergency disaster fund, COVID-19 mutual aid line item, to Jefferson County for the Outer County part of the COVID-19 expenses during the coalition at the onset of the pandemic. That's when they had the testing site down in Jefferson County. We were helping support that through our population numbers and how I believe, how the ratio figured out on that. So I bring that in a form of motion so we can make that payment to Jefferson County who carried that expense and did invoice us when that's what this is.
Is there a second?
How much is the payment?
I'll second.
28,
Okay, thank you.
29,000. It's not as much as we had paid first estimate.
That's it.
It's, 29 is what is being,
28 to 29.
28, 29.
28,000 and something, I hope.
Thousand?
Yes.
Yes.
Any additional comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, aye. Okay, that's unanimous. Thank you. Item I, Stephen?
Yes, sir, the Zoom license for the juvenile probation department, to be paid out of emergency action fund for COVID-19 expense, out of the local expense, out of that line item. The local juvenile stuff is not open record, they can't have, just anybody listening or watching this stuff, or can't, be put out to the public, so she's going, the department's going to need a license where they can control who's in on those meetings and hearings and things like that. And the only reason they're doing Zoom is because of COVID-19. Normally this is done through face-to-face hearings and stuff, but they need to do Zoom or are doing Zoom, but they do need their own license to protect themselves and from the COVID. I bring that in the form of a motion.
Okay, there is a motion waiting a second.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Mike. Comments or questions?
I have a question. Is this for 1 year, this license? You know, Steve?
I believe that's correct. It's a yearly.
Yeah, it's 150 a year.
It's $150 per year, Jackie said.
And after this COVID is over, then we won't need it, is that correct?
Correct. Or I would say.
Well, it depends on how the court systems are set up on what they're, how they're allowed, but I would think they would have a way to do it by the end.
Okay. Any additional comments?
The motion is to use COVID. The motion is to use COVID funds for for this year. Correct?
Correct.
Well, we have a COVID-19 line item, expense, a local line item expense for COVID-19 out of our emergency disaster funds. That's where it would come from. It's a local expense for COVID-19 that caused this expense.
Yeah, that's causing the expense.
Okay, are you ready for the question? All in favor, aye? Any, and that's unanimous.
Judge, I have a question. So
Yes.
Is this going to be a 1 year subscription only, or?
It's to be paid out of this fund only at this time. If it's something that they continue doing and we have to renew it, it can be paid out of that process.
Is this for the rest of this year, or is it?
It'll be a year license, you have to purchase
Year
it.
to
A
date.
year license?
But after the year is up, if they're still doing it, you can pay for it out of that process.
Okay.
Jay.
Item J, Stephen.
Okay, yes, sir. This is an addition to the employee policy manual, saying that any person hired as for part-time employment in a department shall not make more than the full-time employees within that department doing the same type of job. And if there is not a full-time position within that department or similar duties and responsibilities anywhere in the county, that rate will be set by Commissioner Court, the hourly rate, and no employee can make less than that on wage court. I bring that in the form of a motion.
Okay, there's a motion.
Second.
Mike has a second. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, aye. Any opposed? Martin, did you want to register a vote?
I vote John.
Okay, so it is unanimous. Stephen, that takes us to item K.
Yes, that's adopting a policy that the county will follow the CDC recommended guidelines in any health crisis or pandemic. One thing that, I will go ahead and bring that forward motion so we can discuss it.
Okay,
Second.
there's a second. Okay, we're ready for discussion, Stephen.
The thing I'm concerned about is, if we adopt this, and, the CDC guidelines change, they're so fluid, they change from guidelines. And so if we adopt these, I would not want any disciplinary action being brought towards any employee because of the guidelines change so much. It would be more of a follow these guidelines. You know, that's what our intent is, to follow these guidelines for the employees of the county without any disciplinary action if somebody is not following those guidelines because they are so polluted and hard to follow.
Okay, comments?
You had a second on that?
Yes, we did have a second. Mike had seconded that.
Okay. I think we need to use our own common sense, let the commissioner's court decide what policy. We've had a lot of success in the past not following federal guidelines and state guidelines. I'd rather not vote for this.
I would just add to that comment that any health crisis, it actually may be just limited to Tyler County or limited to, is what Ken and I have learned in this process. CDC may not necessarily be speaking to a specific localized, and that's why we defer to our health officer, which is Dr. Denson. Ken, is there any addition that you would offer for the court to be mindful of? Can you get a little closer where everybody can hear?
Follow the recommendations of CDC or the state can be very different than what we need to do here. Just as a side note to that whole statement is, if we follow the governor's order in about 12 days or so, we don't have to wear these. So that's a separate than a CDC order. I think a base guideline of following CDC that's the only place I go to for information. So I think that is the place to look for things if we want to protect ourselves and our citizens. Do we want to lock it to that? That's up to y'all, truly. But that is the base of the information that I talked about, that I give out. That's what Dr. Denson, when we talked, she looked at the CDC guidelines, not everybody else's, but that one single source of being the information we use. I don't know if that helps you or not, but.
I think our treasurer has a comment.
Yes, sir. I think I would just like to recommend that instead of, we all know about the shall, the will, and all that in the statutes, could we just recommend or amend this to say may instead of will?
Stephen, were you able to hear that?
You want to change it from will to may follow? Is that basically what you said?
Yes, that's what she suggested.
It still leaves the court
Yeah, I think.
plenty of options.
And I think they're on the same track as I am. I don't want it to be a required thing. But I know that people, that for the county are asking for guidance. They're asking the court, what do we need to do? What needs to happen? They're asking for guidance. I'm not sure, we're not giving them guidance that we should be, but, I don't have a problem saying will follow, but may follow. That's not a problem.
Okay.
But I don't want any disciplinary action brought to anyone that does not follow. That's my main thing. It's be held under disciplinary action for not following.
Is there an interest
Our
in,
policy,
is there an interest in amending the motion then to include the word may in substitute of will?
if we do nothing, Judge, that kind of leaves us right where we're at.
The department heads have no guidance now for the court on what to follow.
I would agree with changing from will to may.
Okay. Mike, what about also what Stephen added, that there be no punitive consequence to any official or employee of the county? Stephen, does that sound acceptable?
Yes, that does.
Okay, so an amended motion.
I remember right, when we had our meeting the other day, there was some discussion about, okay, so if you have someone in your office that tests positive, what kind of policy would we have? Like, you have to have, 1 or 2 negative tests before you can come back to work, that sort of thing.
Are you hearing the questions, Mark and Stephen, from Donna's?
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's normally covered in the CDC guidelines, those things are just fluid, so when that happens, it's when you have to read the whole CDC guidelines and kind of get some guidance on where to go to things.
Okay. So we have an amended motion on the floor to include the word may, and then also include the phrase that it will not be punitive consequences to any official or employee for non-compliance. Let's get that in form of a motion. Mike, you can do that amendment. Okay. And if I could get a second, thank you, Buck. Now, we're voting just on the amendment, gentlemen, and that's to amend it to say the word may, and that there's no consequences for non-compliance. Okay, all in favor, aye? Okay. Martin, you still there?
That's it, man. Y'all not here.
Yeah, we're not. Okay, so the
I knew first.
the amendment passes. The amendment, I'm sorry, say that again?
For future, you will know when I say no.
Oh, okay. That's for future reference. Thank you. So noted. Okay, so we vote on the amendment. Did we just vote on?
We did.
We did.
So the amendment is now, and the motion is back on the floor. All in favor of the motion with the amendment, say aye. Okay, and I think Martin must have voted too.
Yes.
All right, that was unanimous. That takes us, Stephen, to item L.
Yes, what this is, allow the maximum carryover balances for employees' vacation time. Instead of ending on December 31st of this year, let that end date for this year only be June 1st, 2021. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, when people had vacations and stuff canceled their time off due to restrictions or whatever. So June 1st would be the day, 2021, when they would go back to, it'd be like December 31st, just which they did June 1st. That comes in form of motion.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mike. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, aye? And there's none opposed, it is unanimous. Stephen, you also have item M.
Yes, that's approximately $35,000 for purchases for COVID-19 mitigation, and they paid out of the DRF funds. Plus COVID-19 signage for social distancing, permanent plexiglass in the following offices: the county clerk, the sheriff, the juvenile probation, and the district clerk. PPE dispensers, clean pen systems for each office. That somebody uses the pen, they drop it in a container or trash and sanitize it. Plexiglass dividers for the waiting area in the tax office and the county clerk's office. Teleworking laptops for the following offices: JP, the county clerk, tax, and adult probation. Found out in the meeting the other day that the employees were using they were having to use their personal laptops when they were working from home. So I'll bring that in the form of a motion.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Buck. Comments or questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? I think Martin must have voted again, I just didn't hear.
He's very low.
Okay, it's unanimous. Item N, gentlemen, I bring this in the form of a recommendation for motion. We went back through this just to be sure that we were checking off every box that we had identified. And we had the conversation with Lynette, regarding the setting of the salaries, the expenses, and other allowances of all elected county and precinct officers per local government code 152.013. And I have a copy of it somebody provided, so thank you, Jackie. It does state that the Commissioners Court shall set the items at a regular meeting of the court during the regular budget hearing and adoption proceedings. So this would be inappropriate to bring brought today.
Correct.
Okay, so we will set that item aside and go to item O, and that's the Net Protect Video Magistration Contract for Precinct 1, number 1, and Judge Ford and Judge Joe have that, and I'll recognize them at this point.
I'll get you back in your phone. This is the video registration system, to where we can, put it in the jail. And we can be in our courtroom, they can be in their jail, and, everything's in real time. You sign real time. There's no emailing back and forth. There's no Dropbox. There's none of that. And, with COVID, it's safer. And I believe I talked to Leanne, and this would be covered through the connectivity and the COVID CRF funds, whatever. And Judge Joe would like to also do the registration. We do most of the registration, and the other two JPs have declined to do this until they see us good. I think they are a little wary of the computer stuff. So anyway, but that's pretty much it. Jill, I think, or the judge sent the contract to legal. Eric did a few changes and they agreed to it and then sent it back, and that's what's before y'all now.
Good.
Any questions? 3,600 for the two of us for the year, and it's unlimited, so if you have 500 a month, it's paid for. They keep it all. We don't have to do anything to that, so.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Mel. Is there a second? Thank you.
Second.
Okay. There, comments or questions? I just want to express my appreciation to Trish because she was very patient in this process. Eric, as you know, has had a lot on the workload, and so she's been working on it for some months, trying to get this in effect, and so I think our patience has paid off, judges. All right, additional comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. I know of nothing for executive session, gentlemen. Is there a motion to adjourn? Okay, Martin's got the adjournment, and Stephen has the second. All in favor, aye? Okay, thank you.
This conference is no longer being recorded.